But no.
No, I quit smoking 22 years ago. I started vaping about 2 years ago.
Good.
Love to do that.
It's a lot better for you.
Well, it's all the nicotine, none of the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
All the energy and the buzz.
That we know so far.
That we know, true. I may be getting a totally different kind of cancer.
Yay?
I'm not going to live long anyway. I'm so close to dead as it is. Might as well enjoy it before I go. They say it takes years off your life, but they're the ones at the end. They're not very good anyway. So.
True. Very true. Let's see.
As this fight isn't going as planned.
Are you losing?
Not exactly.
Are you winning?
Not exactly.
Are you... Yeah, I don't know. There's no in between. Are you going to call it a draw?
I don't know.
Okay,
Can
now...
you call it a draw?
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but let's see. If you tie, but Arthas scores 3 goals, but still loses, you're both going to be in the finals.
Did he get shown a red card at any point?
Okay, I just did something that was really dumb, and it didn't work out well for me.
What did you try to play a Murloc?
No.
You should. I hear that Murlocs are the way to cheat the game.
I've heard that as well.
I've heard that from you.
Oh, well, can you trust that advice, really?
No, not really. Oh my gosh.
I'm hearing meowing.
Yeah, that's a cat. It's
That is
a rather
so
happy
cute.
cat that likes to make noise.
That is so cute.
I don't think this strategy was well thought out. This strategy being my strategy.
Is it a rush deck or a control deck or?
Wait a minute, decks
You
have
know
names?
what? We're gonna have to try this again sometime. This isn't gonna work out.
I'm pretending like I know what I'm talking about with Hearthstone. I so do not.
Rush deck. Okay. All right. I'm
Here's
done
your
with
rush.
Hearthstone. It didn't.
Okay.
It didn't work out.
Okay. I am going to go put a cat in the bathroom. I'll be right back.
I hope that's not a euphemism.
It's not, unfortunately.
I hope it is.
Be right back.
Hi, chat room. I can talk to you now. So, hello.
Wait, we have a chat room too?
We do. There's chat
So
room.
many things I don't know.
Use Beast Cleave. That's my favorite move. I don't think Paladins Beast Cleave, but maybe. I'm also really bad at Hearthstone, so I don't even know. Nobody wants a picture of the cat. Don't make up stories. I know.
Guys are being so quiet.
I need a webcam. I know I'm tired.
I'm sorry, I was channeling Amy Jade.
We're gonna see if I can summon energy for this show.
I'm actually not being quiet. I'm just speaking in parentheses.
Oh. Well, that's cool. I wish I could speak in parentheses. What else did I do this week? Nothing. I did a whole lot of nothing. That's what.
That's a good week. That's a very good week when you do a whole lot of nothing.
Oh, we're talking about doing nothing? I like doing nothing.
Yeah, nothing's the best.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Ben.
Thank you. I took care of the cat.
Yeah, it's about time. That's one less financial hassle.
Yeah, you'd think. But now there's shush money I have to worry about. Or hush money, whatever.
Shush money.
Shh.
Nobody would have ever taken organized crime seriously if they called it shush money.
Actually, that would be really fun.
Give them the shush money.
Ever Studious, actually, I think that is the plan tonight, is to talk about the classes we're thinking about for Warlords.
Oh my god, spoilers!
Bard!
thinking
I'm gonna
about-
play a Bard. That's
yeah.
it.
Unknown's Bard class. We're all going Bard.
Yeah, that, you know what? I would actually welcome a bard. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Sing them to death.
Yeah. And just think, depending on how you spec, you could sing well to buff your like group and everything, or sing poorly to do DPS.
Good.
Yeah, I would totally do that.
Megadeth. Barry White. Oh, yeah. That's the mesmerizing crowd control. There's like...
In all honesty, you just really want to be an Elite Tauren Chieftain, don't you?
Would you
Totally.
be a spoony
That'd be awesome.
Bard?
This is not Final Fantasy IV.
A spoony. I don't even know what a spoony Bard is. That worries me.
It's a bad
Do you
translation.
spoon people?
And then
Will
sing
you
softly
lull
into
them?
their ear.
Final Fantasy fans totally know what a spoony Bard is. And I'm not a Final
I was going to say,
Fantasy
you've
fan.
never even played 4, have you?
I've played 4.
Did you get to the Spoony Bard point?
Yeah,
Bard?
I got to where they said spoony Bard. And what's amazing is because it was such an iconic line in that game, they left it even when they retranslated the game.
I love that.
So it's a new translation where spoony Bard wouldn't be in it, but they leave it in anyway. You spoony Bard.
So, how do we want to do the intro since you guys are on different shows?
One person goes, then another person goes.
Or you
And
just
they
talk
both
together and
go.
say you're from FERT?
They both yell over the top of each other.
No, I die a lot, and Smexy has to res me, so I will let her go first.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Very, very nice.
Aw,
Never piss off the healers. That's the first rule.
Yeah.
that is correct.
And as a DPS, always pull off of the healers.
Yes.
Even if you die, it was for the right reason.
And don't trick of the trade on the healers or misdirect on the healers, please. So, wait, are we doing it now?
If you want, we can start the show. I mean,
Who
it's
knows?
past time. We can
I
wait
mean,
a little bit.
It's 1 minute past time. We could go forever.
Yeah, really, we could.
This is the pre-show. We can talk about whatever we want right now.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh,
How
John.
awesome CSI New York is.
Okay.
Okay.
let's
I
start the
know
show.
that the- I
Let's
know
start
that
the
the
show.
It's time to start.
Hey, John, do you know what I really like?
Shirts.
Yeah, shirts.
We're starting this.
We're ending the show.
We're done. Let's go home. Shirt time.
Seriously, though, that new Amazing Spider-Man, great issue.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Oh, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that.
Now they're gonna start the show.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
we're-
we have a Lignar that's trolling us in the chat room now.
I was waiting for the joke on the Spider-Man thing.
No, it's just really good. He was
Yeah.
legitimately just.
It's a
Really?
really good issue. Yeah.
Oh. Yep.
New character introduced. And she's awesome.
And then they make out.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I mean, 6 months from now.
Hey, guys, we should start the show.
You guys want to
Hold
do
on.
a show? Hey, let's do a show.
Nah.
Okay.
Did you get all the important news in there, Ben? I didn't even look.
I just added something thanks to a link from Ever Studious.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. I don't know. Is that enough for you, John?
It's never enough.
Okay. Cool. Well, whenever you two want to go ahead and start us off, then I guess it's time. Wait, I'm recording, right? Okay, yes, I am recording. Whenever you two want to start us off, it's time. So feel free.
This is Medicakes from Epic Podcast, and you are listening to the Azeroth Roundtable.
And this is Acuzod from the AIE Podcast and Prepare for Combat. And you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable.
Somehow I have to splice that, and it's going to be interesting.
Just every other word. Those intros are always the best.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 70. It is January 25th. My name is Ben Bumhofer, and with me, as always, is John. How's it going, John?
It's going even better now that I know that it's January 25th.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of other shows do that, and they sound all professional and like cool and smart and stuff. So I'm like, let's
It
try
was
it out.
shaky. It was
You're
shaky
shaky?
for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh, it's January 25th. Everything's going to be fine.
Oh, good. Well, you know
So,
what? I
naturally, you'll be putting this out on January 25th, so this makes sense for all the listeners, right?
Well, I could have said it's Friday.
You could have.
Friday,
said a lot
January
of things.
25th.
Friday,
You could have told everybody what the weather was like.
Hey, that was last episode, and it got cut. So with us this week, we're actually joined by two very special guests, people that we've raided with, people that we've had a lot of fun with, and who have also been on the show before. So first off, Medicakes, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Suckers.
I know. Middle of the week, I'm like, I have a really fun idea for a topic. I'm going to see who I can get. And then I got you, and I'm excited. Cause
I am too, because I just realized that the class that Acuzod and I have our eyes set on. So I was like, ooh, this is going to be interesting.
Well, perfect. And in fact, that other person that you just heard giggling maniacally, which I'm a little worried about now, actually, is Acuzod. Thanks for showing up, Acuzod.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for asking me. I'd love to be on the show. And I was just imagining a couple of those two classes duking it out, a duel in front of Ogremar.
Ooh.
Cage
Okay.
match style.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Get the chair!
I watched Mad Max the other day.
Oh.
Good memories.
Who ran
I
the
actually
party
watched
town?
the Spider-Man. Bonesaws ready!
Oh, I'm sorry that you
It's
watched that
playtime!
one. Although,
Oh.
I do have to say that Bruce Campbell is actually the best part of that movie.
Absolutely.
I love Bruce.
Oh, sometimes I hate that I do this. Did I say January 25th?
I think I did at some point. This is why you shouldn't give out dates.
Okay, whatever. Forget the date. We're isolated in time.
Do we want to start over? It's
No.
not too late. We just started.
Nah, I
we
think
can
we're
go
good.
back.
I think we're good. Medi, I'm curious. Even though I know like a good chunk of it, what have you been up to in game?
Raiding with this team called FERT.
Oh, cool.
You guys may have heard about it. It's pretty
Sounds
awesome.
like trouble to me.
It
Yeah.
is. God. Bunch of noobs. They don't
Oh.
know how to raid. I've also been trying to gear up a newly boosted character.
Oh, really? What kind of character?
Enhancement Shaman.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Very
Hey,
cool.
now.
Yeah.
You
It's, um,
cheated. I'm leveling mine from 85.
I already had a level 90 Shaman, but she's on the Alliance side.
What? All right, you're
And
disqualified
she's-
right there.
Oh. But y'all got all the rest of my tunes.
cool. Yeah. Well, I'm actually really interested in getting into that, just because. Well, it's a whole huge conversation later. Anything else that you've been doing other than gearing her up?
Nope, that's pretty much it that I've been doing in game.
Okay. Any Diablo? Anything else you've been playing?
Just recently played Diablo with Lignar.
Cool.
So, other than that, not really much.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
Acuzod, let me go over to you. What have you been up to other than hours upon hours of Heroes of the Storm?
Actually, in the last week or two, it's been almost entirely raiding with FERT and then complaining about not being able to play Heroes of the Storm. For some reason, not for some reason, you guys, I'm sure you know, in the AIE podcast, Gomez stepped down after over 3 years at the helm of the show, and I am trying very, very poorly to fill his shoes. And I found actually how difficult it is to actually edit that show together after we record. I never used to care. I used to just come in, I'd try to be funny, and then I'd sign off and go do something. And he would spend hours editing the show together, complaining about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just post it. So now it's on my shoulders. I'm looking at, oh, yeah, I got to edit this. Man, yeah, I need to edit that. I need to edit that. So really, a lot of podcasting, both my shows, playing, raiding with FERT nonstop. The only thing, I love FERT so much. There's only one thing about FERT that really, really annoys me. We only raid twice a week. Can we, there are more days in the week, guys. We can get together and raid more.
Yeah.
No, it's
Between,
the most-
let's see, recording schedules of everybody on the show. And,
yeah. I've heard there's some other podcasters in that group. I'm not.
officer duties of everyone else on the team. I mean, yeah.
Probably the only raid team that has to stop raiding to invite people into the guild. Ready, check. Hold on, I'm inviting somebody.
Honestly,
Paula, stop that.
Exactly. We have to yell at her so many times. We're like, stop being an officer for a little bit and actually play the game.
No, but that's been between furting and podcasting. That has been my life for the past week or two.
Furting and podcasting is my autobiography.
And I've also been leveling an enhancement shaman from 85. Actually, to be fair, he was an elemental shaman at 85. I'm trying to gear him to enhancement, so maybe that's a little bit different there. No. Okay, I'll go turn him off.
Okay.
You know what, Zod? This is a safe place. You can play your enhancement shaman or your elemental shaman however you want to.
Just wait until we raid next time and you need heals.
Oh no. Just wait till the well, I guess we'll talk about it later, but wait till I go resto shaman. Let's see if your shaman lives.
I'm glad I know other healers. John, how about you? Have you had an eventful week this week?
I don't know if I would say eventful, but things happened.
Really? Like what?
Well, hey, remember we were going to do that contest about bet on when I was going to resub to WoW?
Mm-hmm. I do. I was actually really excited. I have this whole, calendar all set up for it. I was about to tweet out and say, okay, send me, you get 5 choices. It's a free entry. And I had this all set up. I did hours upon hours of work.
Well, it turns out the smart choice was the exact moment it would be most inconvenient for Ben, because I resubbed to WoW. And I raided last night. Actually, all it really took was I was home. I wasn't doing anything. I was staring at the computer thinking, what do I want to play? And then I looked at the clock and I thought, hey, you know what? They're about to go on a raid. If I resub to this game right now, I could go on a raid too. I should just do that. So I did. And we raided.
Yes, we did.
And it was an okay time. It was a lot of fun, but it was sad because there were a lot of people who wanted to go that didn't get to go because of login issues.
Yeah, and it was very unfortunate. Last night's Blizzard had a power outage, and everybody was all sad because they couldn't actually log in and stuff. It didn't work out too well. We had 3 or 4 people just sitting at like about 90%, or as Jekyll tweeted, 90.30 and a whole string of numbers percent, something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that, and some of them gave up, some of them stayed persistent and eventually made it on, but it was fun. It was still a good time to get back in there and get right back into the swing of things. I enjoyed watching you guys fight trash again. That was fun.
Yeah, appreciate that. Good job. Yeah.
Although I will say I was productive this time because while I was watching you guys fight trash, I was healing one of our healers. So, it's not like I wasn't doing anything.
Yep. I mean, we all know how valuable those, monk heals are when you're punching stuff.
Yeah.
So you have, like a 45-second minute cooldown between each one?
No, it's faster than that. It's fine.
Oh, you use the little balls? You
know what? When I got in there, the healer didn't die. So everything was fine. Yeah. Okay. Say 3 in the chat. John saved my ass, I'm assuming. And that's true. And I rezzed her.
After the fight, right?
That was before I started healing. I rezzed her, then I started healing.
And then you rezzed her.
Yeah, I want to make it clear that was the order, because otherwise it sounds like I wasn't doing my job there either.
Well, you know what? Good job. So really, it was just kind of like you're kind of bored and wanting to raid, and that's what brought you back in?
Yeah, that's really all it was. I just thought, I'm kind of bored. I guess I'll just log in.
Could wash the dishes, I could trim my toenails, or,
raid.
Wash my delicates. I'll go raid.
Yeah, I guess I'll go raid. So yeah, it turns out boredom is a good recipe for getting you back into WoW.
All right. So
hey, there's the thing to do.
The last episode with all these great stories and everything, and just those exciting times that people experience, you're like,
do a thing. and being bored on a Thursday night will totally do it. So
thank you everybody for your entries. Next time, don't send anything, and John will get in like right away. So
next time, someone's just gonna say, "I like WoW because it's better than nothing," and I'll go, oh, "They're right. It is better than nothing. I need to get back into this game."
it's like, wow, I can't believe it. That's amazing.
It's be Blizzard's new tagline: "Warlords of Draenor, better than nothing."
Very true.
Yeah. Hey, at least they're being honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They know the target audience.
So I also have been playing some Hearthstone because the Naxxramas thing came out. I don't know what we call it. They don't have a cool name. Is it expansion?
Yeah, it's just Naxxramas.
I don't know. It doesn't really feel like an expansion. It feels like a thing.
Well, okay.
Okay, now you can explain it to me because I haven't even seen it yet, although I've seen the little banner ad everywhere. What is Naxxramas in Hearthstone? I thought Hearthstone was a card game.
And it still is.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
There you go.
Basically, it is new content in the form of some solo single-player type challenges. You know, most of Hearthstone is a multiplayer-focused game. There you can play against AI, and that's about the extent of its single-player experience. Naxxramas adds a few special bosses to the game, and basically the way they're rolling it out is they're rolling it out in wings, so the Arachnid Quarter is available, and sure enough, you play a card game against the 3 bosses from the Arachnid Quarter of Naxxramas.
Oh, okay.
They have special cards, they have special abilities, they're designed to be a little more challenging than maybe just playing against the default AI character would be. And when you beat them, and when you beat the wing, you unlock Naxxramas-focused cards that you can then use in your decks for anything that you're doing. So you get, like, there's these spiderlings that are pretty cheap to play. They don't do a lot of damage. They don't have a ton of health, but when they die, they spawn 2 more spiderlings.
Oh,
and
geez.
So it's kind of this, you know, it's just more cards to play and experience and all that. And then they also have class challenges where they give you a deck. You don't have to build it, but you have to play their deck, and you have to defeat the boss with that deck, and then you unlock class-specific Naxxramas cards. And then they have heroic mode, where they have created the most insanely jerky bosses in all of mankind.
They all play Murlocs?
No, worse than Murlocs. The one I was trying to beat in the pre-show, basically they have a class ability. It's the giant spider Myexna at the end of the Arachnid Quarter. It costs 0 mana for them to use, and it removes 2 of your heroes from the playing field and puts them back into your hand.
Oh my god.
So they can use it every single round. And the character starts with 45 health, you only start with 30. And it starts with 2 of those spiders that when they die, they spawn more spiders on the field. So it starts you with just about every disadvantage you could possibly have.
Well, it seems like they're actually taking mechanics from the actual raid fight and using it, because you remember you were part of the web patrol where you unweb 2 people.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of cool. I like that. I mean, this is coming from someone who doesn't play Hearthstone, so but the idea of incorporating it more into WoW is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's neat. It's hard, and it makes you think about decks in a different way. So the way that I'm thinking you have to counter that is by using a lot of cards that have effects when you play them, battle cry effects, so that every time you play them on the field, you get to use their effect. So if it's something that heals you, every time you play that card, you heal yourself, you get web wrapped, and then you can put out the healer again and heal yourself again. So little things like that might be good tactics to help, although I need to admit I still have not beaten that fight.
Okay,
Chuck, can you say that word again?
Which word?
That X whatever.
The name of the spider?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myexna?
Okay. Now, did you beat my X-Nut the first time, like in normal mode, or?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if you had to like do that first before you can do a heroic version.
Yeah, once you beat the normal mode bosses, then you unlock the heroics.
Cool.
Do they have a Stitches boss?
I'm sure they will, but that quarter is not open yet. So each week there's going to be a new wing that opens up, and until the whole thing is all out. And
Yeah, and you can pay gold or money for it. Ro broke it down, and you get a better bang for your buck if you actually pay money as opposed to gold. He did like the a card pack value versus the wings and stuff. So, yeah, recommend doing that from what he said.
Yeah, Ro knows what he's talking about. So,
did you anything else, or just Hearthstone and resubbing to WoW? Did you get into WildStar at all?
I did. I've been playing a little bit of WildStar. I've been dealing with a zombie-esque situation, we'll say. Serious business there. By zombies, I mean little cute, gloopy aliens that stick to your head and mind control you.
Oh, like from Futurama.
Yeah, a lot like that.
Nice.
It's a real problem.
Okay. I haven't done too much this week. I ended up getting one of the last 2 best in slot pieces I needed from Ordos, so yay.
nice.
But then I went to fight him again this week, and now I understand why so many people were having issues with cross-realm like raiding and everything, because every single time that I got into an Ordos group, it was into a PvP group, and everywhere I went, I was slaughtered by the Alliance. So I get that now, and I get why it sucks really bad. But I was able to actually join a group, get over there without being harassed too much. I think like a day or 2 into the week. But yeah, that part sucks. But whatever. It is what it is. I got in there, and it wasn't actually like super horrible. Other than that, I've been working on Black Prince rep with my panda a whole lot. Just because you go over to the Isle of Thunder and you kill anything, and you can get exalted like way super fast. And that buff's going away really soon, so if you haven't actually done that yet and you need to, do it, because it goes by super fast.
Yeah, Prankest and I went from neutral to exalted in a weekend, just doing those quests.
Yeah, Sarah and I went in there, and I think in maybe an hour, we went just from honored to revered.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Nice.
yeah, it goes by really fast. But other than that, I really haven't been doing too much in game. It's just been a busy week and everything. So, yeah. With that, though, Blizzard's been a little bit busy, so let's find out what happened in the news. News! So, this doesn't really mean anything to most people right now, but all the beta characters were wiped.
No.
So, John, you have to go in and try to get John again.
Yeah. Try and get.
Wait a minute. When was this? When were they wiped?
Yesterday.
Oh, man, they wiped my shaman.
Yeah.
I mean, aw.
It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it, Medi?
It is.
You can't let beta characters hang out for too long. They just get old and crusty, so you gotta wipe.
They start to smell bad, yeah.
Yeah, but new stuff was added. There's some new zones. There's more information. We'll get into that some other time, because I didn't feel like digging up all the information on it. And you listen to probably other shows other than ours, and I'm sure they're going to detail it a lot more than we will.
Yeah,
So
we
we
said we
would-
were going to talk more about the beta this week, and we're not, because I don't think either Ben or myself played any more of the beta this week.
No, I actually started the intro quest, and it's
Oh, yeah?
pretty cool so far.
Yeah?
Yeah, now my character's wiped, so
Now you get to do it again, so
I-
I'm glad you liked it.
in all honesty, I'm excited to do it again, because it's a cool intro, and I have a feeling I'm going to be doing that intro a lot. So
I bet you will. You've got a lot of alts, and for sure you're going to do it at least one more time when you play your main when the real game comes out.
my guess is I'll be doing it at least 4 more times on that main, just because beta wipes happen all the time. So
That's gross.
yeah, it is. There was a new Torn female model shown.
Somebody's excited.
Just a little bit excited.
And now, Medi, you play a female blood elf right now. You used to be a Tauren. You're a paladin. I'm guessing that you like the new model, then?
I absolutely love the new model. I think this is probably one of my favorites. Besides, I do love the orc model.
Yeah, the Orcos look really cool, but they can't be paladins.
I know. So I think my enhancement shaman will be orc, and then I'm going back to Tauren for my paladin.
Now,
Cool.
I understand your excitement because I saw it and I think it looks great. I agree with you. But what happens when they reveal the Blood Elf, and then the Blood Elf looks really great too?
I don't think they can look any better than they already do, because, I mean, they're already fabulous with the hair.
They can look better. They've got weird hands.
They could... well, the females could stand to gain a few more pounds.
I don't remember if it's the thumb or the pinky finger on the Blood Elf, but one of those fingers is weird.
Okay, I have 2 questions on this Tauren model.
Huh?
I have 2 questions. I'm looking at the Tauren model now because I hadn't seen it till now. First, is the model wearing a push-up bra? Because it really looks like it. And second, why is it only one bra? I mean, it is a cow.
Oh, that would have been a bold choice.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Why?
Bad. But Butter, move on. Let's go.
You're utterly ridiculous, Acuzod.
I was waiting for that.
Sorry. But, no, in all seriousness, though, the new Tauren female looks awesome. I'm actually excited for my paladin to be upgraded to the new model and everything. So, yeah, I'm with you on that, Medi. In other new model news, if you want to see the undead model, it actually kind of animated a little bit. So it's in the model viewer now on the Warlords of Draenor site. So go check it out and look how freaking awesome it is.
I need to play the new male undead model because they haven't really changed much animation-wise so far with these models. They've done some, but my problem with the male undead has always been the run. Mm-hmm. It always looks like they're doing a little dance while they run, like a little shambly dance.
They kind of waddle
as they run, and I can't deal with it. I look at my character standing there, I'm like, oh, this is possibly the coolest character that ever lived. And then I start running, and I can't help but sing a jaunty tune as I go, and it ruins the undead experience for me immediately.
What jaunty tune would that be?
I'd have to be looking at it to do it.
Dang it. Okay. Next up, every single person who is on a show or who actually looks at the thing is going to say this. So, Zod, do you want to actually read that bit? Because I think that you've got a good feel for the voice I'm going for.
Oh, don't do the obvious thing.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I did it yesterday for the AIE podcast, so I will pass.
All right, then Medicakes.
Do what?
Get to the chopper!
No! I don't want to say that line.
Gosh, I'm going home.
You already are home.
I know.
If you want to live.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't logged into your WoW account yet, make sure you do it by September 30th, and your Horde characters will get the really awesome bike. So, yay.
It's January 25th. You better log in by September 30th.
Yeah, just for the record, for anybody who doesn't know, read the fine print. You're not getting it when you log in right now.
No, there are a couple people who didn't realize that and who were actually quite upset.
I would say more than a couple. I don't think that it is made abundantly clear that you are not getting it now.
Well, I read the whole article, and it does say it in there.
Right, most people don't give a shit about the whole article.
Yeah, I know.
They read the headline, look at the picture, and they move on.
Because most people don't think, hey, they're really hyping up that you can log in and get a bike, but I better read this full article to make sure that it's not just saying there's going to be a window of time where if I log in, I then qualify to get the bike at a later date. Because that seems like the reasonable thing.
You never know. Some people might...
Words are hard.
Reading's hard.
Reading sucks.
Reading is fundamental.
I'm sorry, reading. I take it all back.
Geordie LaForge is going to come hunt you down.
Yes, he will. You watch out.
He has Kickstarter approved, so he's going to get you.
I'd actually like to see him going on an assault, throwing books at people.
You better read.
Just him dressed up as all of his different characters. Kunta says read. Throw.
Jeez.
Beam this up. Wham.
And all those other characters.
Don't take my word for it. Foop. Earth. Foop.
That's the best.
Poofed
You nailed it.
Okay. And last but not least, I actually saw this last night. It was kind of, I don't know, mentioned on Twitter. Claws of
What?
Claws of
If everybody would get their little cursor off the Google document, we could probably read it a little better.
Wait, you mean this one right here?
Right here? Is that the one over there?
This. Right
Claws
here?
of Shirvala.
Right around here. Yeah.
Sure.
Shirvala. Has anybody seen this other than just what I linked in there?
No, I saw a picture earlier and I heard about it.
I saw the video and it was pretty.
I think Tatsumi has seen the Claws of Macaulay. Does that count?
It's close. But it basically it is. I think it's either a talent or a glyph. I'm not entirely sure which. I didn't read up on the entire thing for druids. And when they go into cat form, they don't go full cats. They go like half humanoid, half cat. So we'll have a link in the show notes. It is actually really cool. Some of the video and the pictures and everything that you see for the different races in this form, but you're going to be able to be in cat form, but still cast some spells without having to shift back and everything. So it's an interesting take and something new. And I don't know. I mean, I don't really play a druid yet, so if you can give them some more utility, I mean, why not? They already have 4 specs, right?
Yep. And they're very good at all of them, too.
Yeah. I don't know. John, is this something that you would ever be interested in? Because I know that you were a big fan of the Worgen and you like that whole idea and wish they were on the Horde. Is this close enough to something to, I don't know, get you excited for a druid?
No, because I don't care about druids.
Oh, Durs is in the chat room too.
Let's just say number 1 on the chopping block when it comes time for the class culling.
Oh, did you see my tweet to Zarheim? I was like, Druid's gone.
I kid for all the druids out there that are getting sad or mad or anything else that ends with AD.
Email them at...
Yeah.
Revendon@gmail.com.
I just say that because I used to play as a rogue, and druids were like wannabe rogues. They're like wannabe everything.
Once are wannabe rogues and druids.
They're like the kid that tries a little too hard. Like, he runs up to the group and he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm goth too.
I'm good at sports and academics.
Check out my Ramones t-shirt."
Next thing he's out there on the football field, he's like, "I love baseball." They're like, "This is football. I like that too. How do we play? I'm great at it."
That's the one on the ice, right?
Yeah, I got a stick. That's fine. You know what? Persistence. It's an admirable quality. So, druids, you're persistent in trying to be all things and good for you.
But they can be tigers and snow leopards. Okay.
When you say it like that, it makes me feel like druids are the class invented for like 5-year-olds telling a story. I was a beautiful princess, and then I went, and then I was a tiger, and and then there was a bear, and I turned into a bear, and then I went into the water, and I turned into an orca, and then I jumped over the water, and then I landed, and then I was a stag, and then I went and I turned into a bird, and I flew up to the sky, and then I died.
I'm so fluffy!
You forgot the tree, John.
Oh, you forgot the tree?
That's when you ask them more questions about what their dream was about. Then later, when I was the tree,
I got wood.
I had the best dance.
If anybody could animate that, I would be so happy. A children's story by John Jagger.
So, yeah, druids are fine. It's cool. I think here's my answer to all things in WoW.
Yes?
Did it add customization options and new depth? If the answer is yes, then I approve, because that's exactly what I think this game needs more of. So I think giving druids another form to turn into is very cool. I think giving warlocks green fire is super cool. I love that sort of stuff. Now do it for everybody else.
That would be nice.
Well, rogues are due for something again because no one's playing them.
Yeah, but they're never going to do it because you know what? Blizzard's default answer for rogues, and I love this.
We like how they
answer,
are.
even though I hate it. They always say it. You can see many instances of them saying this. They say, "We don't want to lose the rogues we have." They have no interest in gaining any more rogues. It's one of the least played classes in the game, if not the least played class, and they have just decided that they are not ever going to get any more. So their new game is toe the line and don't lose anymore. Let's just make sure we keep them.
Who else is going to PvP?
Yeah.
Very true. You know what? That actually is a pretty good segue into our roundtable, so let's go ahead and take a seat there. Shut it!
Roundtable.
And welcome to the Roundtable, where we discuss in depth the issues that mean the most to us, the players. This week's Roundtable topic is all about changing your main, which we've dropped like 30 hints about that since the beginning of the show. So
I don't think those were hints.
it's true.
Those are threats.
So just to start off, I've been playing a mage since I've started. Well, you shouldn't count the throwaway characters I had on trial accounts because, yeah, whatever.
You've been playing a mage since you started?
Yeah, it's been my main. It's what I've played this entire time. John, you were a rogue for a very long time. Actually, I would say right up to the point until you could become a monk.
Yeah. I would say even a little beyond that, but yeah. Because I did hit 90 before I dropped it.
Yeah, and then you found out that you didn't like playing a rogue anymore.
Yeah, it took 90 levels. Actually, way more than 90 levels, as you well know. From, John, what are you leveling? Oh, I'm leveling another rogue. Because why not? And I've played a lot of rogues for a lot of time. And then Monk came out, and I said, oh, this feels like a thing that I should be forever now.
Yeah. So, okay, what was that whole experience of actually changing your main? I know that one of the big issues that you were kind of worried about were, like, mounts, achievements, everything, because you did everything on Eos the Rogue. Like, everything.
Yeah, it was a really good point to change mains. It's still not as ideal as I think it could have been, but it was a really good place to change mains because it was a time in the game where they had gone account-wide on so many things. And, before Mists of Pandaria and all of that, where you got to see a lot more account-wide changes, it was harder to change your main because you had, bags full of things that you were like, well, I have to say goodbye to this. I'm never going to have this mount again. And so when I switched mains, I lost very little. I lost a lot of tabards because and a lot of trading card type stuff. Because the trading card stuff is not account bound. It's, just to the one. So I have an awesome Hearthstone replacement on my rogue that I really wish my monk could have, but I have no way to give it to her. So that's kind of stuck on the rogue.
Is it considered a toy? Do you think it'll be in the toy box for everybody?
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it gets considered a toy and that will fix that, because that's really the big one that bums me out, is every time I see that I remember, oh yeah, I've got this awesome Hearthstone thing. That's great.
Is it the one that turns into the dark portal?
No, although I would love to have that one too. This one actually puts up one of those like ethereal gates that is all metal with all the electricity around it, and that's my Hearthstone.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's very cool. A lot of the tabards, I have some stuff that was, during the going into Lich King event, there was a unique tabard you could get. And I believe when you, this would actually be nice for Team Flex mode, I believe when you right-click it, golden light explodes off of you and your character flexes, if I remember correctly. And I can't get that on my monk because it's soul-bound and I can't transfer it over. So those things are a bummer, but obviously if you like playing one class more than another, it's still ultimately worth it. Play what you enjoy playing.
Yeah. Now, in the raid team forums, Zod, you kind of mentioned you were thinking about changing your main, Medi, I don't remember if you actually said anything in the forums or not, but
I
definitely
did.
Okay. So
I said it first.
okay.
Whatever. I've been talking to Tetsumi.
Dibs.
Boom.
So okay, if you could let us know what you're currently playing and also what you're thinking of switching to and why. Medi, ladies first.
Aw, suckers.
He wants you.
Okay, so, and I had stated this in the chat room, Erlina has known me probably the longest out of anybody, like Lignar, etc. I actually started out as a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to kind of learn how to raid with her, but I didn't really actually start raiding until I created my rogue. So my rogue at the time was my main. And then come Wrath of the Lich King, I had switched over to Medicakes. And that started my healing career, and that started my namesake. And up until, Cataclysm hit, I had been pure Discipline Priest. And after what they did and butchered to Discipline Priest, I decided that I wanted to switch my main. I wanted her still to be a healer, but I wanted to switch my main, and that was brutally hard on me.
Mm-hmm.
Because Medicakes was me. And she still is a little part of me. My namesake, but I had to make that change. And I think my personality had changed too from learning how to raid and heal
Mm-hmm.
to creating specs. Now it's like I have been healing every single expansion I've been in. And while I love healing, I have every single healing class. While I love healing, I need to do something different.
Well, I mean,
I feel like I go to the raids and I experience the raids, but I don't actually get to experience the mechanics. I mean, I have to know not to step in this and to get the hell out of this, and I'm staring at health bars, but I don't really actually get to see the raid through the eyes of like a DPS.
Well, and to be fair, too, the raid team that you're with, we're pretty dumb and die a lot.
Whatever.
So, I can understand where that would be frustrating.
Only that rogue. But that I just, and I'm still not 100% on if I want to change my main. It's like I want to get her geared up to where she is caught up with Smexodon in item level. I seriously doubt that'll happen because Smex is almost 560. Mm-hmm. But I at least want to get her geared up and comfortable with enhancement. I know Resto, I know Elemental, but I really want to try enhancement.
Okay.
I mean, I've, like I said, I have a level 90 Alliance Shaman, and I leveled her from 1 to 90, and she was enhancement and Resto. So I know enhancement, even though it's changed a little. It's just, I want to make sure that I feel comfortable enough to make that my official change, because I don't want to change and kind of step back and let Smexodon slip.
Yeah.
And then get bored or get discouraged and then go, hey guys, can I get back on Smex and heal? I don't think that's going to work, and that's not fair to my fellow raiders. It's not. So I'm still kind of iffy.
Well, do you think that once the expansion actually gets here and you see, I mean, you have access to the beta, so you can kind of see how they're playing currently. And as we know, everything in the beta is in flux until the game actually releases. And even then it changes anyway. But do you think that, really getting geared up right now and all that stuff is going to help really make your decision with things kind of changing soon?
Well, for me, it's not, trying to gear up and I guess be like, ooh, look at me, look at my item level. For me, this is just practice. This is me getting hands-on experience with enhancement and seeing that if I really like this specialization and see if I can stick with it. Okay. It's like so far I'm doing pretty good. I have an add-on that I always get when I try out a new class or a new spec, so it's helping a lot.
Okay, cool. Zod, how about you?
Okay, A lot of my story's the same. When I started playing WoW, I started out on a warlock. Actually, it was my first character. His name was Acuzod at the time. That was my namesake, and I did the vanilla WoW as a warlock. And then the next expansion, I think, was Burning Crusade was next. If I remember correctly. And I don't remember what I played in Burning Crusade because I've wiped that entire expansion from my memory as just, a sandy protection measure. But I do the same thing every single expansion that comes out. I've been at that point, I've been raiding on a tune for months. I know that tune backwards and forwards. I can play that tune in my sleep. Sometimes I have. And then they break them every single expansion. I know they're trying to improve the characters, but they break them. Like through Icecrown Citadel, I was dual maining, if that's a thing, between a Resto Shaman and a Protection Paladin. Love both those roles. I loved healing and I loved tanking. And then they came out the next expansion and they broke Shaman. They just totally, in my mind, totally screwed the entire healing class up. Broke my heart. I couldn't play him. I just put him away and I started playing my mage. So every expansion, basically, I pick a new class because I can't stand what they did to the previous class. Now, every class they put out is fun. There's always something about every single class that's unique and special and fun to it. So I love all of them. Excuse me. That's why I have 6 level 90s right now, a level 87, a level 85. 86, pardon me, he did yesterday.
Hey,
so
guys.
I love leveling. I love playing all the tunes. I love finding that one thing about a character that really makes it fun and special. But when you get to raiding, you really want to feel like you're doing good, like you're being useful. And every time they change a class, I don't feel like I'm going to be useful. So I dropped my shaman, parked him for at least 2 expansions there, or 1 expansion. I lost track. But looking at what they're doing to shamans in the next patch in the Warlords, it looks like they're spinning him back around and making him really fun again. So that's why I'm considering being a shaman.
Copier.
Hey, Zod.
Yeah.
If you don't like them ruining your class from expansion to expansion, have I got a class for you? Well, let me tell you about the rogue.
That is my lowest level character. He's like 10.
Well,
Because
you
I
know
kept
what?
hearing the cries.
You and every other rogue out there, there's like 10 rogues in the game, and they're all low level, and they're all in battlegrounds all the time.
What about Brian?
And Brian. Sorry, there's 11 rogues.
He's just on the floor most of the time.
True.
So you should give it a go, because I hear that hell will freeze over before they make a change to the rogue. So,
There you go, yeah. So if I want something consistently bad, I can play a rogue.
Well,
I
hey,
will
they're
say
changing
this
the
about
combo
rogue.
points, so they're gonna be great. They're the next new thing.
Going into the new expansion, and this is kind of how I'm always going to be for the foreseeable future, I think. I want to like rogues again. I really like some of the things that rogues can do. It's the class I've played the longest and have the most experience with. I just really like the class, and I want to really like the class. It's just hard in a post-monk world. Rogues suddenly feel like a really slow class, and I don't think rogues should feel slow. When I picture a rogue fighting, there's nothing slow about a rogue, in my opinion. Like, that should be a class that is dodging stuff and stabbing stuff, and you can't hit them because they're so fast.
It's like when Jon Snow fought that guy with 2 daggers at Crestor's Keep.
Yeah, it should be the one guy that can beat up Jon Snow until something weird happens and he gets a sword through the back of his head.
Spoilers.
So, yeah, spoilers. That's what I picture for a rogue, and I feel like rogues, especially when compared to the monk, just feel so slow. It feels like hurry up and wait for your damage to tick off of the character. And it's very hard to get used to that. And I would love to see them do a little reworking of the rogue, but I do, for all the fun I'm going to make of it, I do understand the feeling of we don't want to change it too much, because what if all we do is make the people who do play them and don't have any problems with them, what if we make them hate them now? So I get that.
Totally understand that. In fact, I played a feral druid throughout the Deathwing expansion. I forget the name, the actual name of the expansion. Yeah, in my mind, the feral druid was what a rogue should have been. Besides being cute and cuddly and furry, actually the way they played was quick, was fast, and they had a lot of utility abilities that were really fun. The rogue just didn't seem to be quite there.
A lot of those changes, though, I mean, John, correct me if I'm wrong, and I hate speaking for you considering you actually played the class, but a lot of those changes actually happened once you hit max in MOP, right? Like, as you're kind of progressing and leveling, it didn't feel as fast as it used to, and then when you get to 90, you were just like power-starved and just had a really tough time getting into the later content.
Yeah, there's a term that goes a lot, that gets thrown out a lot. You saw it a lot for rogues in Mists of Pandaria. You're seeing it a lot for monks in the beta for the new expansion, and it is energy starved. And what it is that it is when you first get your character up to level, you do not have the same level of haste stacked up that you have as a raider currently in the game, and so your character by default feels slower because you are pushing buttons slower because you don't have as much energy as fast as you do later. So that's something that comes up occasionally, and that's something I ran into very heavily when I hit max level in Mists of Pandaria, and it is the thing that pushed me away from the rogue, because I got to max level and I thought, okay, great, I'm going to play a little bit on my monk and I'm going to play a little bit on my rogue, and I kept going back and forth between the two, and the monk just kept feeling better and better and the rogue kept feeling worse, and so eventually that just led to me having a 90 monk, and that was all I played.
Now
I feel the same way about the monk as a healer. The healing monk felt very energy starved. I was just waiting to do something all the time because I did have the mana or the chi or all that stuff. So totally understand what you mean.
Yeah. Now, John, I know that you've geared up with Timeless Isle stuff and everything. Did that help getting more, higher level gear, or is it still kind of just not as much fun as the monk? Like, did Blizzard do such a good job with the monk that even a geared up rogue just is, kind of fail by comparison?
I still couldn't get into it, and I don't think that it's necessarily the energy starvation problem anymore. I think it's going from, I have a character that's, raiding Siege of Orgrimmar, and that's the gear that they're in, versus now I have a character that just has the Timeless Isle gear, and I've been playing the monk now for so long that all of a sudden I was missing the self-healing, I was missing all of the monk abilities, and so at that point it just felt too weird to go back to, and I think that was my bigger problem later. It still felt much slower. The rogue is a slower class than the monk. The monk, you are constantly hitting things, or almost constantly hitting things, whether it is just jabbing to build up chi, or using your abilities that expel it, you are almost always doing something. Or you're waiting for, Fist of Fury or whatever it's called, to finish channeling. And that's about the slowest it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt that way with the Rat Paladin. They seem very, very slow with their rotation of priorities.
Yeah.
Just like the damage that they're doing just didn't feel like it was doing enough for how slow I was going, right? Just like me. The enhancement shaman I noticed too, it's really based on your weapon. Your weapons, and right now I feel kind of slow.
Yeah, you
on my
probably
enhancement
shouldn't
shaman.
play one.
You know what? Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
I say we team up.
500 now. Boom.
Oh my gosh, you could be the Wonder Shaman twins.
Yay!
Form of Ghost Wolf and
Form of
Ghost
bucket
Wolf.
of water.
Or you know what? We can make this deal. You can go enhancement sometimes, and then I'll go elemental, and then we can switch. We can switch.
That would be interesting.
That would be.
And in all honesty, with the way that gear is going to be working in Warlords, assuming they keep it in, you could do that. So
Actually, that reminds me. My wife, Prankess, has played a hunter since day one of WoW. That's all she plays. She literally has no alts. All she plays is a hunter. She deals with the changes as they come out because she doesn't want to have to learn a new class. She's never been interested in alts at all. I could never play a hunter because we always raid together. Back in the days where you had to choose who got the gear, she always got the gear because I'm not stupid. So I could never play a hunter because I couldn't compete against her for gear. I'm like, no, dear, you can have it. No, it's
Oh
yours.
gosh.
Well,
I'll get
plus
the next
all
one.
gear is hunter gear.
That's
it is.
true.
Axe? You don't need that axe.
No. So glad they took those away.
But that's a wand. No, dear, you can have it. That's okay.
It's true. They did make changes where they had to make it very clear. This is not hunter gear.
Yeah, wands are like arrows. You can shoot them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Load him in the crossbow. There you go.
You got a
They were
wand
just
in your
bitter
eye. It
because,
did hurt.
Volley got taken away.
Oh, that did hurt. She was complaining about that loudly.
It had such the coolest effect with arrows sticking out of the ground, even if you're
Yes.
shooting bullets. You know, how awesome is that?
See, I was a hunter back when they had volley and they used mana, so
Okay, I got a question for the round table.
Okay.
What is your least played class, do you think? It doesn't need to be scientifically accurate. Just, what do you think is the class you have played the least in the game? Ben, go.
Warlock. I have a level 13 Warlock. She's my bank alt. The only reason that I got her to 10 in the first place was so that I could use her on the mobile app. And I just kept going for 3 levels because I'm like, yeah, this is okay and interesting. And then I totally lost interest and I don't really care about going back.
Ben, why do you hate warlocks?
Because they're wannabe mages.
They
Ben,
are
why
now.
do you
Yep.
think Blizzard should delete warlocks from the game?
Because they're evil. They collude with demons, and it's just it's not a good practice.
Ben, why do
Ben,
you think people who play warlocks are bad people?
Because most of the ones that I know are they're totally two-faced. Like Ro is incredibly nice, but behind your back he will talk so much crap about you, and he makes voodoo dolls and stabs them. And I mean, if you're down on your luck, it's Ro's fault.
Yeah, totally.
he lost interest.
Medicakes, what is your least played class and why?
Least played class, it's probably because I got bored. It would be the warrior. I had a warrior, and I got her to level 82, and it was back in towards the end of Cataclysm, and I stopped at level 82 because I got bored as hell on the warrior.
Medi,
let
why do
Tets
you
know.
hate Tetsemi?
Because he's very poor at doing math.
Oh.
Oh, don't say that. That's like his thing.
Aw.
That's
I
like
mean, don't
telling
keep me on
Batman
three
he's not a good detective. Like, just don't take that from him.
Yeah, if you do that, you lose a lot of teeth.
All right, Zod, what is your least played class?
Warrior, same reason. Mine's level 7, boring.
We're gonna get
Maybe they
kicked
get
off
better.
the
I don't know, but it just didn't excite me. And that was my 10th character because I love alts, but man, I couldn't. He's a no. He's a goblin. He's still in the goblin starting aisle. It's like I just didn't.
You know what? I'll back you on that because it is kind of hard to start a warrior. I have had warriors, probably like 3 or 4 of them. I get them all to about maybe level 10. That they're not on my account anymore. But I have played them more than I have a warlock.
I almost boosted mine to 90, but then the last minute I said, "Oh, let's do the DK," and now I'm kicking myself because I can't understand DKs. I'm not an idiot, but man, those of you who play DKs must be rocket scientists because.
But see,
That's
it's
a
like I
complicated
had
character.
deleted my rogue, and Saddlin, who was like my second tune ever, and I had gotten her to level 82, 83. Deleted her, brought her back because I was like, I'll give her a try again. Towards the end of Cataclysm, got her to 83. Said nope, can't do it. Deleted her again. Did the same thing with my warrior. I got her to I think 81, deleted her, and then I brought her back, got to 82, and deleted her again. I was like, these 2 classes I just can't stand.
Hey, John,
Yes, Ben.
what's your least played class?
Rogue? No.
Why do you hate yourself?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure out what it would be. I think it is probably a case could be made for either Warlock, but because you already said it, I'm gonna go with the other one that it might be, which is Hunter.
Aw.
Not Death Knight?
No, I've played a lot of Death Knight.
Oh.
A lot
okay.
of Death Knight.
I have a good story about Death Knights.
Oh, do tell.
and I wish Lignar was back here. When I was creating my Death Knight, he was trying to get me into Death Knights. I created one and got her to level 60, deleted her. Created another one, got her to level 61, deleted her.
To be fair, that's like 5 levels.
I kid you not, and Lignar backed me up on this. I have deleted in total over about 40 Death Knights before I finally leveled Totenik, who is the one that I deleted just to clear up some space. I still love my Death Knight, but she was probably my I can't even 50th or 60th freaking Death Knight that I actually got to the current level, which was 85 at the time. I pushed, and after that, I freaking loved Death Knight. I was like, oh my god, Frost!
Medi, when you log into the game, are your characters just like hiding in the corners?
But I do this every end of the expansion I go through, because I had so many tunes on the Alliance side that I brought over to the Horde side because I love them so much. And there is, besides the Warrior and the Rogue, there is definitely something about each class that I love playing. And I couldn't stand if I had deleted them, but towards the very end of the expansion, I have to do that just because I feel self-pressured into gearing them and making sure everything's, right, and, making sure that they're prepared. But lately with Miss Pandaria, they made leveling and gearing alts so hellish that by the time that they I guess fixed things or helped things along, it was a little bit too little too late.
So you've deleted every other character you have.
Right. I have one Alliance tune. That's my Alliance Shaman on Lightbringer, who is still guild leader of her old guild. I have my Lobu Priest that I level with Ro when we get the chance. I think that's it. On the Alliance side, I think. Don't know. No. I brought my mage back, Chick Logic. They dared me to level a mage, so I leveled her. Her original name was 1112. That's how I feel about it.
That's a great name.
That is good.
And then I nicknamed her Chick Logic. But it's just all my tunes. I have Medicakes, I have Smexidin, I have Bella, and now I have my Shaman. So.
Hey, John.
Hey, Ben.
How many mages have you deleted over the years?
Oh, probably 5 or 6, maybe 7.
You sure there's not more?
I don't know.
You delete a lot of mages.
You know what? My favorite mage, and I think I'm going to have to remake him because I like the idea of the character so much. I made a goblin mage, and his story was that he grew up in awe of mages. Like, he thought mages were the greatest in the world.
They are.
And he did not have a magical bone in his body. He had no magic ability whatsoever. However, he did, through some swindling, acquire a book of magic spells. He cannot use any of these magic spells. Instead, he started to create technology that would mimic the magic spells. So he walks around in mage robes with flame projectors tucked up under his robes, which he fires whenever he wants to use a fireball. And in order to blink, he created a personal short-distance teleporter. And so he's this genius with mechanics, but all he ever uses it for is to mimic mage spells. And that's all he ever does.
That is an awesome storyline.
I like that.
I like that goblin. He's a good guy.
What's his name?
Marvel, that's your next movie.
I don't know. He's gotten deleted, so...
Yeah. So, going back to the topic a little bit here, Medi, you've kind of changed roles since you first started playing. John, you're still DPS no matter what. Zod, you said that you've done Resto Shaman, you've done Prot Pally, now currently you're a mage.
Which I have to say surprises me, by the way, because I didn't really start leveling my mage until I was invited to Furt Raid. And I said, okay, I'm going to play with all these awesome, famous people that I just idolize, because I do idolize all you guys. And I said, I got to be my namesake. I got to play the tune called Acuzod. I went, oh, crap, he's a mage. Oh, I'm married. I can't afford a name change. And I I went to Timeless Isles. I got him geared up. And I said, this is actually a pretty fun class. And it's pretty easy, 2 buttons, 3 buttons most, Worst case, I have to blink or go invis. And it turns out to be a fun class, and they can do some serious damage. So kind of loving the mage after all. Kind of wish I'd played a lot more earlier.
Well, I am very happy to hear that, and I always love having another mage in the group because, well, one, if I die, you can do time warp, or if I'm hopping on a conveyor belt, you can do time warp and other fun stuff like that. And 2,
you just like seeing how far above me you are on the DPS list. I know.
It's not far. But, so going from like an actual specific, job type, so healing to DPS or tanking or vice versa, or through all those 3 and everything, what sort of challenges have you experienced? I mean, you said that kind of healing slowed things down for you. What other experiences have you seen going from those different switches?
I think the hardest part is actually remembering your role, because there'll be times as a tank I actually start caring about my DPS meter, which is the one thing tanks should never ever worry about at all. It should simply be, do I have control of all the mobs? Is everybody still alive? Okay, great. Mm-hmm. But I'll start trying to spin up. Instead of taking my defensive cooldowns, I'll start trying to go offensive, and gets me into more trouble. Or if I'm playing a healer, I forget I'm not actually supposed to look at the game itself, because I mimic Medi. I've seen many bosses laying on the ground going, man, that must have looked cool, and it was standing up. You never get to see the game that way. But sometimes I'll be healing, and I'll go, oh, look, he is cool. Oh, I should be healing somebody. Oh, I'll res you. Sorry, I was looking at the boss. That's basically it's just the like I think anybody jumping between characters a lot, you begin to lose that instant non-thought where you know exactly what to do without even thinking about it. You have to start thinking again. Oh, what's my rotation supposed to be? Oh yeah, wait for that thing. So.
Yeah, Medi, did you kind of experience the same thing going from DPS to heals and then switching from one type of healer to another?
Healer to another healer, no. DPS to heals. I was still a noob when I was going from rogue to Medicakes. I think we rated Nax on my rogue, and I think I was just along for the ride. I didn't have any idea what I was doing. I was just a fan of knifing everything. Mm-hmm. So for me, it wasn't really. Oh God, don't I? So that was my first, I guess, rating experience as a DPS. I didn't really fully get into DPS until Wrath of the Lich King. When we first started out, I started out Shadow Priest, and Lignar started healing. And then after a couple of raids, I was like, F this, I want to go heals.
Yeah, and John.
So it was natural to me.
Gotcha. And John, I mean, rogues and monks are kind of similar. I mean, except for that feeling of speed and everything that we talked about already. Was it simple for you? Like, did you set your button bar up so that you had kind of similar abilities in the same spot, or like how did you actually end up making that change?
I actually did. When I was building my monk, it was weird because I kept kind of trying to build it like a rogue. The way I had my hot bars for my rogue was on the bottom row I had all the things that were attacks or things that built up combo points, and then above it I put all my things that used combo points. Mm-hmm. So when I started doing my monk, I was like, all right, bottom row is all the things that build up chi, top row is everything that uses chi. And then I had one thing on the bottom row and everything else was up top. And I thought, oh, okay, well, this isn't going to work. We're going to need to change this a little bit. But I've always kind of done that sort of mindset where I kind of keep one row of things for stuff that I can use kind of inherently whenever I want to, and then the top row I will usually use for something that is dependent on something else either happening, triggering, something to that effect. And so it was a pretty easy transition for me to go from rogue to monk.
Gotcha. Cool. I know that it's not exactly the same when I switch from like fire to frost or something like that in my specs. I have, okay, this is an instant cast ability all in the same spot. This is the longer cast. Here's where my blizzard is. Certain things you have to have in the same spot just so that you don't go crazy when you do sort of switch specs and everything. But whenever because I have 590s and I do, at least in the previous expansion, I played all of them. In this one, not so much, just because it's alt friendly in the fact that you can give your alt stuff, but it's not alt friendly in the fact that you can actually play a lot with those alts, at least in my experience. I don't have a whole ton of time anymore, so I do everything.
I know what you mean. I think it just made me think the Ice Crown Citadel days, which in my mind was one of the 2 golden ages of raiding, that and Karazhan. I was on 4 raid teams, I think, during that. I mean, I raided 6 nights a week, or 5. I raided 5 days, and 2 of them were Saturday, Sunday, where I had 2 raids, one in the morning, one in the evening. So I definitely got time on all of the characters. But for some reason, this expansion, that just doesn't seem to be possible.
No, and it's one of those things where, like, in the last expansion, when, like, the end of time dungeons came out, if someone needed a tank, I could go in and tank. If someone needed a healer, I could pretend I knew what I was doing. But they were so geared that it didn't really matter too much, so I was okay. And, I had a hunter and a mage, so I had 4 different ways to, actually experience and play the game, and I did a whole bunch of fun stuff. But now I'm having a blast on my mage, and my backup is my monk. I go through and, try to get certain mounts and everything that my mage wasn't successful in getting. But I just don't do a whole lot with the other 3 characters that I have. I mean, I've got a paladin, a priest, and a hunter, and they're all just kind of like, they sit on their farm, and if I need to make something, they make stuff.
I kind of fall into that same trap, too, when it comes to alts for me. I feel like I level them up, and then I hit max level, and I kind of wonder why I just spent all that time leveling them up, because I don't touch them again. It's like, all right, I did it. They can potentially be relevant next expansion now. Like, I've unlocked future potential relevancy. And then I just kind of ignore them at that point, and I feel bad because I've got a rogue, obviously, that's level 90 that I'm not doing anything with. I've got a 90 paladin. I'm on the verge of having a 90 druid, and I think that might be it right now. But I don't touch them. As soon as they hit that max level, I'm like, all right, you are now dead to me. I'm not ever going to log on to you again.
Once Warlords comes out, though, we're going to be best friends.
Yeah, until I hit 100, and then you are back to being dead to me.
There's an answer for this. I think we need to set up another raid night. Furt 2, the Wrath of Dawn.
Remember the beginning when we were talking about podcasting and scheduling? And
yeah. Oh, we all have to do our podcast on the same night, too, just to make sure our other nights are free.
Okay, cool. That works. So, let's see, I think Wednesday...
No, podcast.
That doesn't
no,
work.
our podcast.
Okay, how about Monday? No, Monday doesn't... Okay, no... Yeah, can't do it. But every other Tuesday and Saturday, I'm good. So
we'll work our way through Wing 1 over a period of a few months.
Yeah, that'll totally work. We'll just extend the lockout the entire time. Yeah, but, it all kind of comes to a head of changing a main can be a tough proposition, but if you're not really... I guess enjoying what you're playing and you want to try something new, I think Blizzard's done a really good job of making it so that it's a lot easier to do at this point. Like we said, the achievements are pretty much account-based for a good chunk of them, as is, mounts, pets, everything like that. It's just some of the fun toys and everything might not switch over as easy, and hopefully that'll change a lot in Warlords of Draenor. So,
completely agree.
Yep. Anything else anyone wants to add? I think that puts a nice little bow on this.
No, I think we could talk about this for hours, and we probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
well,
I think that's a bow. And
well, I've got one more question, and I think we've kind of answered it in a sense, but I'm just curious now. John, you played a lot of different classes and everything. What's your favorite?
Oh,
I think
Which of your children do you love the most?
No.
See, an expansion ago, this would have been so easy. I could have just looked at Ben and been like, it's the one I play. But now, I want to love my rogue so much. I just don't. So I'm going to say right now, and it could change, I'm going to say the monk.
Zod?
I'd say right now I love the mage, but I really miss my shaman.
Okay. You know what? It's a good answer, and you said mage, so you're correct. Medi, you've played so many different ones.
God, I know, right? Oh gosh.
Death Knight, apparently.
All 60 something of them. I still have to say that the Paladin is one of my favorites. The Holy Paladin is one of my favorites. Definitely Medicakes. I love my Disc Priest. And I had a level 9 Shaman way before Acuzod, so Shaman.
You are a really good healer, though. You really are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, remember how we all stand and stuff? No.
Our egos kind of like flare up, but it's loving banter.
Well, there's a reason
really,
why we call you...
Six,
Exactly.
I love them.
All of you guys, you keep our dopey butts up, so... Yeah.
We deal with a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Smexy gets me up several times a week. I'll just say that.
Wow!
I mean, reses me. Come on. What do you think?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, and with that...
How do you finish that, really?
I've got one more question for you guys.
Okay.
Who's wearing a t-shirt right now? Raise your hand. I'm assuming, Medi, are you raising your hand?
Yes.
John?
I don't know, am I?
I can't tell. All I see is a hippo hugging a dude.
Well, there you go. Is the hippo or the dude wearing a shirt?
They both are, actually.
Then there you go.
Let me take that off so that the chat room can see what we're actually talking about.
All I see is a
There
hippo
you go.
hugging a dude. Yep. Seems reasonable.
Yeah, so if you are wearing a shirt, is it an official Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt?
It's a Diablo t-shirt.
Okay, you're getting there. Zod, I can see you're not. John, are you wearing your official Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt?
No.
You know what? I'm not either.
This is a really bad way to sell shirts.
It really is. You know what?
Where are you?
All of you need one because it is an incredibly soft, comfortable shirt. That's actually why I'm not wearing mine. I wore it earlier in the week, and unfortunately, it's dirty, and I don't really usually wear dirty clothes all the time. But if you want to be awesome, if you want to wear a comfy shirt, go to slashloot.com, and you can buy yourself your very own Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt.
Okay, I'm looking for it right now. Where is it?
Well, if you go to slashloot.com and click on podcast, you'll actually be able to find the Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt.
I'm firing you from the shirt ads, Ben.
Well, you know what? You didn't start, and I had no way of having a really good transition, so...
I had a great transition.
Oh, okay, well, I'll cut this entire thing. What's your transition?
Hey, Ben.
Hey, John.
What's your favorite gear slot on your character?
I would have to say the shoes, because I could get the ruby slippers from Karazhan and use them as a Hearthstone.
Those are pretty great, but let me ask you, are they going to keep you warm in the wintertime?
Though, definitely not.
No, they're not. In fact, I would say that you would just be SOL if you stuck with just shoes in the wintertime. You're going to definitely need a shirt.
Oh, I think so.
And you're going to need a shirt that screams comfort.
Yes.
And you're going to need a shirt that screams, I'm a fan of podcasts.
Really?
Yes. Studies show that people who are fans of podcasts are typically warmer than people who aren't.
That's amazing. I'm a fan of podcasts. How can I show off this interesting information?
The easiest way is to go to slashloot.com. Have you heard of
my.
that website?
I don't. What is that website again?
It's a website called slashloot.com. You go right on over there, you click on the podcast link under t-shirts, and you will find the Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt. It contains one Murloc, one microphone, one logo, and one statement about our show that you can put on your body.
Oh my. I am going to go to /loot.com right now and order an Azeroth Roundtable t-shirt.
That's the kind of excitement we like from our go-getting fans. Go get one, Ben.
Yay!
I just clicked add to cart, so there you go.
Oh, yay! Are you going to pay for it too?
Well, I'm no, I'll just leave it in the cart. That gives me the warm fuzzy.
Well, thank you very much, Zod. And seriously, it does help us out quite a bit. So if you feel like getting a new shirt, I highly recommend it because they are pretty cool.
They're very cool.
And warm, too, at the same time.
And they make you feel good about your rogue.
No, nothing does that.
It comes in stylish black, the color of rogues.
Okay, that works then.
The color of gamers everywhere.
So, lastly, I would like to thank Snowburn182 for the 5-star review that they left for us on iTunes. They said, "Great guys, great show. This show is fantastic. These guys bring equal parts joy, silliness, and passion to the discussion of Warcraft and how players are relating to it, and Blizzard as a whole. It's like listening in on a guild chat that will be easily the smartest, funniest, and satisfying conversation you'll hear all week." So that was pretty darn awesome. Thank you very much for that.
It's a super nice review. It's a nicer review than I think we probably deserved.
I really think so too, and I like us. So thank you.
You
That's
like
pretty
everything,
awesome.
Ben.
I like a lot of stuff. I'm a positive guy.
Ben's list of things he likes.
Everything. So this unfortunately brings us to the closing part of the show, where I get to ask the fun question of, Medi, how can people find you in a non-creepy way?
Well, you can 70381. just kidding. You can find me on Twitter at Medicakes. You can email me at medicakes.epicpodcast@gmail.com. And you can check out the website epicpodcast.com, but we're on hiatus until Lignar moves and situates himself.
So you can get caught up on all the episodes you may have missed.
Good time for that, yeah.
Now, is there anything about podcasts from, say, the world that you might have some information on?
We're still waiting on one more potential sponsor.
Oh, cool.
But so far we have partnered with Ask Mr. Robot, and we have partnered with, or we have sponsors, Icy Veins, Doghouse
cool.
System, Open Raid. So it's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 rooms at the Hilton.
Oh, nice.
Jeez. And I'm invited to this thing?
Yeah,
apparently.
We got the panels. We got a whole room that's the chat room for mingling in a cash bar. Then we got another room which has some awesome stuff, including a room dedicated basically for swag and an art panel.
Very cool.
Wait, did you say bar?
Yeah, bar.
Totally going to be there.
Good.
Totally.
All I heard was Swagin, and it for whatever reason it made me
Swaggin'.
invent a character named Bilbo Swaggins, and he's just really into getting stuff.
It's like, yeah, look what I got. Look at this
And
over
then he
here.
was like, "Hey, Smaug, I'm gonna take all your shit."
Oh, can we have Benedict Cumberbatch there? I would totally find a way to BlizzCon.
Yeah, but he'll be missing a scale.
He'll be missing more than that when I get my hands on him. Okay.
So check out World of Podcasts, because, wow. Zod, how about you? How can people find you in a non-creepy way?
Oh, well, I kind of like the creepy way. But no, follow me on Twitter at Acuzod, ACUZOD, where you can see me make shameless, horrible remarks at Medicakes daily. Also, go to my website, acuzod.com, which is currently under construction and has been for about 4 years. But one day I'm going to get it up to date, I promise.
Good. Glad to hear that.
And I will also be at World of Podcast, and if the network gods give us any blessing, I will actually be streaming it live for those of you who can't make it. So you'll be able to follow us along at home.
Cool. And what shows do you produce, edit, run?
I don't do any. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I am just kind of took over the helm of the AIE podcast and my own show, Prepare for Combat, the Heroes of the Storm podcast, just hit episode 20. So we're still going.
Cool.
Oh, and I have to say about that, this was episode 70 or 71?
70?
70, and the AA podcast, we're at 201. So, you're doing good,
It's
good
not
job.
the size of the number, it's what you do with the number.
Well, you guys do wonders with the numbers. So.
Oh, well, thank you. We can count. John, how about you? How can people find you in a creepy or non-creepy way?
It's always creepy with me. You can follow me on Twitter at Revendawn, REVENDAWN. You can find me on Flex Mode when we record that. And you can find me on Parallel Words, which we'll be recording next week for its triumphant return.
Ooh, what is this podcast?
Parallel Words is my writing podcast. It is with me and Aaron Green. Each week we are going to get together, come up with a random topic, and both write short stories based on the topic, which we will then read in audiobook format the next week.
So actually, while you're podcasting, you're writing.
Well, no.
Okay.
That's in between episodes.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of talk of nerdy things and things that distract us from writing. Basically just getting it all out on the table so that we can focus in for that in-between period and then write something good.
I've always wanted to be a writer, so I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's been too long since we've done that, so I'm really excited to have it return. It's going to be awesome.
It's a very good show. I recommend it. And are the archives up?
The archives, I think they're actually either down now or just about to go down before we bring them back up. So I haven't paid enough attention to it, or I'm still getting stuff situated with its new home. But if you are subscribed to that show, you will get all the updates on that feed, and you will know exactly where to go when it launches again. Plus, I'll tell you here, too. So if you're hearing this right now, I'll tell you again.
Cool. Yeah. Once that archive is back up, though, definitely check out Horror Month from last year. Are you guys planning on doing something like that again this year? Because if so, yay!
I had so much fun doing Horror Month that I don't think there's a way we don't do Horror Month again.
Okay, good. Good. Very good.
I'm totally focused on the chat room right now with all the shirt talk.
Yeah, I'm actually very impressed by that.
Yeah, the chat room and their shirt discussion has been amazing, except I feel like I should point out to the chat room that I don't know, maybe I have a small case of dyslexia. I frequently misread the word shirt. And so this has been a vulgar discussion, and you should all be ashamed of yourself.
If you want to know more about what I'm doing, make sure to follow me on Twitter. I am at AlDaMage. The show is at Azeroth RT. We have an email address. Tell us about your shirt there. That's AzerothRoundtable at gmail.com.
I don't like where it's green. Used to have the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on it, but it's kind of faded now.
Yeah. But yeah, head over to AzerothRoundtable.com. You can actually check out past episodes. Sarah's been doing wonders with our Facebook page. There's actually been posts and talk and stuff, so check that out. It's just facebook.com/AzerothRoundtable. And of course, last but not least, I have a weird thing in my throat.
That's what she said.
What'd you have for dinner, Ben? What was
So-
for dinner, Ben?
Love you.
Ben,
Anyway.
what was for dinner?
McDonald's.
You're awesome.
You have McDonald's throat? I've warned you about that a million times.
I went the entire episode, dude.
And it creeps up on you.
Yes, it does.
The power of McDonald's throat.
Anyways.
It'll get ya.
Our intro contains music from Truth of the Legend by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of his music at incompetech.com.
Find more fries in your throat. Sneaking up.
Thanks. Okay.